today. We've got a Sanderson SB in today and it's got no drive. The customer said he was going from forward to reverse and then the drive just cut out. He went with like a bit of a ping and it stopped. So pushed it into the workshop and we'll just take a couple of these covers off here and that will let us see the torque converter, the back one that I've just took off. And then you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4 gears in the middle where my yellow trays with the bolts. And then the cover that I'm just taking off now, you should be able to see the crown wheel. And the shaft inside is like a muff coupling. So we'll uncover all that, expose the bones of it. We'll start it up. And we'll see what turns and what doesn't turn. So you can see the torque converter there spinning round nicely, so that's all right. We'll just put it into gear now on the 1, 2, 3, 4 and we'll put it in forwards and we'll see what turns and what doesn't. Put it in forwards and see what spins. I've disconnected a linkage so the rod on the dash doesn't quite have enough travel to do it. Right, so you can see there now that the crown wheel is spinning, but the wheels aren't turning. So there's something drastically wrong with this machine for it to be doing that. So hopefully it's something quite interesting that's gone wrong, either diff's knackered or it's sheared half shaft or something along them lines. Same in forward and reverse. Odd thing with this, it's not making any horrible noises. But that diff is not transferring the drive somehow to the half shafts and in turn not turning the wheel. So we'll turn it off now and see what we can see. Got this wheel jacked up now. And when I spin this wheel, crown wheel doesn't turn. But then when I have noticed, if I put a screwdriver in there, well, you can see that there. Try it a bit better. Not good. We'll take this wheel off now, old Milwaukee in its keep, and I've spent ages and ages and ages wire brushing all bolts because it's that like oil and soil and it's really sticky and sticks to everything, so you end up like scraping it off and wire brushing. Very busy with a wire brush on this job. Spent more time cleaning than it actually did probably undoing nuts and bolts because everyone's that old and crusty on it. So I've got the jack underneath it now, got to undo that ring of bolts. There's loads of brake linkages, diff lock, and a few other linkages and things. They've got to undo and disconnect so we can pull it out. So undone the trumpet housing bolts here. We've just undoing the last one now. And we've had to do the same on the other side. We've had to take the U-bolts out of the chassis and lift the chassis up slightly, try and get a bit more room to be able to pull the shaft out because it's a Ford tractor in reverse that Sanderson then built their forklift round. Pulled it away now and the crown wheel is not attached to anything. So I think we found the problem there. It doesn't look that bad. I can't see any chewed bits of metal or any like horrible swarf or anything like that. But my next problem is I can't get the trumpet housing down or out. So that's caused me a bit of an headache and took me longer than I'd hoped for. I've got a problem here. It was one of them. Got that trumpet housing there, he's hitting the plate. You're meant to be able to just drop it down, but you can't. Because, if you're looking here, the diff is meant to stay in there, but it's all wanting to come out with that shaft. So that's why I can't drop it down and clear that. So what I'm going to have to do is I should be able to undo these ringer bolts here, and then that will pull out. I'll be able to drop it down, get the diff out and get the shaft out. So we're having a look in here now, and you can see that the rivets that hold the crown wheel to the diff have all sheared off, every single one of them. I've not seen anything like this before, but I've been to local New Holland dealer, well, ex-New Holland dealer now, and they've managed to sort us like a supersession kit. So I wonder if it's like a common thing that they actually have got a kit that you can buy that changes the rivets to nuts and bolts, the high tensile nuts and bolts, that you knock all the old rivets out, which was quite easy to do. Well, because they weren't in anymore, they'd all sheared, so you can get to both sides of them to knock them out. Put them bolts in, clean it all up, hammer the bolts through, tighten the nuts up on the bolts, and then torque them up, and then put your diff back inside. But you need to get every single rivet out. So I got every single rivet, counted the holes on the crown wheel, and made sure I had 2 rivets for every hole, so that there wasn't a piece of rivet going round in between the 2 gears, because that would go over crunch and a bang. And it's lucky that hadn't happened in the past. So I'm just punching all the rivets through now on here, all the bolts through the holes, and they're a really good fit. Torqued them up. I've shoved the diff all back assembled now. I've checked all the bearings are fine, there's nothing up with anything. New set of nuts and bolts, new gaskets, and we'll bolt it back together. A lot easier now. I've got the half shaft out the trumpet housing, as I'm not fighting trying to get the shaft inside the diff, so it just goes straight on. Couldn't be any easier. That trumpet housing now supports the diff up. New half shaft seal as I've disturbed that, and then there's another one inside the drum which I've changed but not shown. We've got it all bolted up now. A few linkages. We've just got to fill it with oil and put that top cover on and test it now. Very good machine, these, quite sought after. Not worth mega money, but we still earn the keep, still do the job, and still in use after all these years. So not too much on them to go wrong. Everything's nice and mechanical, no fancy electrics. So good machine, I quite like them. So I'll put these panels back on now. There's rubber gasket under that you can't get any more off Sanderson, so I've just put some gasket gear on it. So that'll be compress again, that'll be fine, that, and it's well below the oil level, so there's no danger of it like splashing up or anything. So quite happy with that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. To support the channel, it really helps. So thanks to all my subscribers who've already subscribed. I'll put panels back on, put my linkages back on. This has got hydraulic brakes to the actuators, which I don't think was original. I think that's an aftermarket thing. Moment of truth now. Will it move under its own power once again? Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.